11 PDHPE half-yearly exam 2011. Question we're going to look at now is 11a, which is describe the difference between relative and the dynamic nature of health. The question was a 4-mark question. First thing we probably need to look at is what we're talking about with the key term. The key term is describe, and with describe we're asking you to provide characteristics and features of. The next thing we probably need to pay attention to is the rubric, where it's quite prominent there at the start of this section, and please make sure that you pay attention to it. The demonstration of an understanding of health and physical activity concepts is important. The application of critical thinking analysis skills. You would need to use relevant examples in your answer and present it in a clear and logical way. These things are placed there so that students have got some more understanding as to how to answer them effectively and what the examiners will be looking for. So please don't disregard those instructions and that part of the rubric. They're important for all students to read at each opportunity. If we get into the part of the syllabus from where it comes from, you can see the highlighted section there from the critical question of what does health mean to individuals. We're taking this dot point from the meanings of health, and we're looking at the relative and dynamic nature of health. The students will learn too, so these are the things that hopefully you'll show us in your answer, that you have an understanding of the interactions of the different health dimensions. You have an understanding of what good health means. You understand the health continuum and the fact that health changes over time, and there are different factors that can affect a person's health. All those things should be shown through. You should have the opportunity to show those in your answer here. We have a look at a couple of samples that have done a good job and managed to get 4 out of 4 for this question. You'll see from the very start, without actually having to read into it, that they have set it out in a clear and logical way. They've given us here both areas of the answer in terms of the relative nature of health. We can see that quite clearly, and also the dynamic nature of health. So without having to read into the script, it's obvious to me that both of those are there and are given in terms of a description. The description in this particular script again shows us that they have an understanding of that it is a relationship to a period of time or to another person. A number of students only looked at it in terms of time, but the relationship could be, or health could be shown to be relative in regard to another person. So it might be from a country person to a city person. It might be from an age group to age group. It might be from a gender that you are making an example that health is a relative concept. This answer again provides us with examples. Examples back up what has been said in the description above. They've related themselves to a specific time, such as 2 years ago. That again gives us a good understanding that the person who is answering this realizes that health is a relative factor. The dynamic nature of health, it means that it will change, or it's not staying constant. This is reflected through this section of the answer, that a specific time period is changed. The word change there lets us know that that's an understanding for that particular student. Again, examples are provided. They talk about 2 weeks ago until today, and give specific examples there. The next answer we'll have a look at is presented in a little bit of a different way. They've discussed the relative and the dynamic nature of health straight up, and that's okay, that's fine. they give you a good description of what those two are. In the relative case, another person's health or another time, and the constantly changing factor here leads me to understand that the student knows what they're talking about. In this section of the answer, they're providing us with the examples to back up what they've said before. You can see that they, through their discussion of physical, emotional, spiritual and social, have an understanding of the different dimensions of health, which is fine, which we spoke about up here earlier in the ability of the student to show that they understand the concepts of health. Generally, the areas in which students could have improved was through the use of examples, and some students limit themselves to health being relative to a time period rather than looking at the different ways in which it could be relative. We were looking for most students to get 3 out of 4 or 4 out of 4 in this section if they do all those things.